Bitcoin surging to another all-time high today. This while gold fell back to its July 27th levels, with Bitcoin now at almost 3 times price of gold. What does Bitcoin's rise mean for the gold market, Brian? Do we have to worry about this?
Well, I think when you're looking at Bitcoin, it makes sense that this is a type of cryptocurrency, a currency that you can exchange with people more readily, where you don't have to go through necessarily a third party. And obviously, it makes it easier. Instead of carrying around a bag of gold on my shoulder and exchanging that, I could walk in and have my iPhone here and pay somebody in Bitcoin.
Right.
So it makes sense that the ease of it is another place to go to get out of that fiat currency realm of money printing, and so that's where people are headed. And the fork in the road that happened in Bitcoin, certainly people maybe expected a little difficulties there. That transferred pretty well, so cryptocurrencies moving higher here. But when you look at gold over the last couple months, they've tracked very well correlated to the cryptocurrency if you price adjust and volatility adjust it. And so I think gold still has a little bit of catching up to do, Jackie.
So basically, I mean, explain this to me. It's a positive for people who don't really know a lot about Bitcoin. If you're using Bitcoin, it actually is a positive for gold.
I think it is, because in both situations, this is an alternative to using euros or using the US dollar or using yen. In places of the world where we've just seen endless amount of printing of money and sort of falsifying what your backing is behind, these are areas where it's very difficult to get a handle on. Bitcoin's obviously very difficult to mine. Gold also very difficult to mine. So supply and demand, these are alternative currencies that people can buy and exchange with each other. And Bitcoin really has taken off as one that's been easier to do. It's gotten through a lot of the bumps in the road, and I think it's very real. If you look at the total amount of gold in the marketplace and the market cap of gold as a whole, to take over 5% or so of the marketplace, if you went to cryptocurrencies, you'd see Bitcoin's trading a significantly amount higher here, and that's why people are clamoring for it.
Okay, so having said that, you're trading gold for me, and I'm going to assume that you're a buyer here. That would make sense.
I am, because I'm a buyer of any sort of anti-fiat currency, buying the 1265 level, looking for gold to trade up to 1285. That would be the catch-up level to catch up to all the action that Bitcoin is seeing. I have a stop at 1250. The reason being, we had a nice little breakout in the bottoming process in July. We've held that 1250 level in gold. I think we can, if we maintain that level, I think gold trades higher here, Jackie.
Bob, what do you think of the gold trade? You on board?
Okay, I like the gold trade because it's a good technical trade, but I got to jump on sort of the conversational side of this, because to me, comparing Bitcoin and gold is like comparing oregano and cinnamon, because they're both spices. If I've got a recipe that calls for oregano, I'm not going to replace it with cinnamon. They're completely different things to me. There's not over 900 cryptocurrencies active right now. We talk regularly with our group about Bitcoin, about Ethereum, about Litecoin, about Ripple, about IOTA, and Bitcoin right now is the most popular one and it's the most valuable one, but I don't see it as a store of value, because any one of these can come out with a slightly better technology and completely replace Bitcoin. I do like it, and I am also anti-fiat, as Brian is, and I like his gold trade. But the whole cryptocurrency conversation, to me, it's speculative because it has a value based on scarcity, but something could replace it. It's almost like betting on MySpace.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying that Bitcoin's going to go down, but there could be a Facebook in Bitcoin's future. Nothing's replacing gold except possibly platinum.
And what is the fact that people use these currencies for sometimes nefarious practices have to do with the trading aspect of it, guys?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think, if more and more regulation comes into play, that could have a factor on some of these, because obviously, like you said, the nefarious transactions that do happen, the ease at which you can transfer your ledger and your exposure to one thing to another, having that ease in the Bitcoin world, is something that's desired by, let's say, not the best people in the world. So, certainly if we get more crackdown on that, that could be a factor in Bitcoin. But, the fact remains is most people are using some sort of software hub or whatever to store their Bitcoin. So it's not like you just transfer Bitcoin and it disappears off the face of the earth. There still is somewhat of a transactional thing that you can sort of take a look at, albeit not as easy as someone storing gold in a bank account or in a safety deposit box.
Have you ever actually used it, Brian? I'm just curious.
I have played around with it a little bit and traded around a little bit, and actually we're starting to see a few places now bringing on the options market, and that's my world, an option market maker. I'm looking to start to get into that world of making markets in that, because as people start to hedge, as things start to expand and start to normalize and mature, you see option hedgers come into this space. So I think this is an area that somebody can explore. But the volatility is tremendous, Jackie. You mentioned the price of it is triple that of gold. So
right.
You're going to see wild swings in this thing, and that's something to be aware of.
Okay, let's get the risk reward on the gold trade. Brian is buying gold, $12.65. He's targeting a move to $12.85. Each point in this trade is worth 100, so he's risking 1,500 to make 2,000.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.